Welcome to Creative Imperfections. I'm Kelly, and I am so glad you're here. Think of this podcast as your safe place to be your beautifully messy self. Let's dive in. I've got a question for you today. Have you ever been the unlucky person who grabs the grocery cart with the bad wheel? You know the one. You're just trying to pick up a few things. Maybe you've got a short list. Maybe you're in a hurry. Maybe you told yourself you'd only be in the store for 10 minutes, which, let's be honest, has never happened in the history of grocery shopping. So you grab the first cart you see. You start walking, and within about 5 seconds, thunk, thunk, thunk. That one wheel has apparently decided it has dreams of becoming a square. Now you're wrestling with this cart through every aisle. It constantly pulls to one side. You have to overcorrect just to go straight. You hit a smooth patch of floor and think, ooh, maybe it fixed itself. Nope. Thunk, thunk, thunk. And somewhere around the cereal aisle, you start wondering why you're working so much harder than everyone else. I think life feels like that sometimes, not because everything is falling apart, but because one little thing is pulling against you. Maybe it's a difficult relationship. Maybe it's a project that's dragging on longer than expected. Maybe it's a mindset you've been carrying around for years without realizing how much energy it's costing you. Maybe it's your inner critic narrating every move you make like it's auditioning for the role of world's least encouraging life coach. Whatever it is, every step forward requires just a little more effort than it should. The funny thing is, when you first grab that cart, you assume the problem is temporary. You think, I'll just deal with it. Then 5 minutes becomes 15. 15 becomes 30. And before you know it, you've walked the entire store fighting a battle you never needed to fight. Why? Because switching carts feels inconvenient. You'd have to stop, transfer everything, walk back, start over. It feels easier to just keep pushing. Is this sounding familiar? How many things in our lives do we keep pushing simply because we've already been pushing them? There's actually a name for this in psychology. It's called the sunk cost fallacy. We keep investing in something because we've already invested so much, even when continuing no longer makes sense. We've already spent the time, the money, the effort, so we convince ourselves we have to keep going. But sometimes the smartest thing you can do is switch carts. That doesn't mean quitting every time something gets difficult. Some things are worth pushing through. Growth is uncomfortable, learning is messy, building a business is rarely smooth, and raising kids is definitely not smooth. If you've ever tried assembling furniture from one of those instruction booklets with nothing but tiny pictures and a mysterious extra screw at the end, you know that some struggles are simply part of the process. But there's a difference between productive challenge and unnecessary resistance. One helps you grow, the other just wears you down. I think we often confuse the two. We wear exhaustion like a badge of honor. We tell ourselves, I'm just working hard. Maybe. Or maybe you've been pushing a broken cart. Maybe the system you're using doesn't work anymore. Maybe you've outgrown the goal you set 3 years ago. Maybe you're saying yes to things that don't belong on your calendar. Maybe you're carrying expectations that were never yours to begin with. And every day you're using extra energy just to stay on course. Here's the part I love about the grocery cart analogy. Have you ever noticed how quickly you forget about the bad cart once you switch? You transfer your groceries into a new one, you start walking, and suddenly it glides. You're not stronger than you were 30 seconds ago. The floor didn't change, the groceries weigh the same. The only thing that changed was the cart. Sometimes we think the answer is becoming tougher or becoming wiser. But instead of asking, how do I push harder? Maybe we need to ask, what am I pushing that I don't actually have to? That is a very different question. And as creatives, we do this all the time. We compare ourselves to everyone else. We obsess over numbers. We rewrite the same email 27 times before hitting send. We spend weeks trying to make something perfect instead of simply making it real or making it exist. We're fighting a wheel that keeps pulling us sideways. Imagine how much creative energy we'd have if we stopped fighting battles we accidentally volunteered for. Maybe that's the invitation today. Take a look at your own grocery cart. What's making every step harder than it needs to be? Is it fear, perfectionism, people pleasing, a commitment you've outgrown, a belief about yourself that hasn't been true in years? Whatever it is, remember this: switching carts isn't failure, it's wisdom. Because your goal was never to prove how much struggle you can tolerate. Your goal was to get the groceries home. And maybe that's today's creative imperfection. We spend so much time trying to become stronger so we can carry unnecessary resistance, when sometimes the bravest thing we can do is simply choose a better cart. Thank you for listening to Creative Imperfections. Always remember, there's magic in the mess. If you enjoyed this episode, share it, subscribe, and keep showing up for your beautifully imperfect journey. Until next time.